what's going on, guys? Alex here from Mr. Build It, and in today's video, we're going to take this ordinary bedroom closet and turn it into that. So without wasting time, let me show how I made it, and let's get into the video. Let's go! All right, let's talk about the sponsor of today's video, Harrys.com. Do you find it frustrating lining up at the store to pay for overpriced blades that just keep irritating your skin? Every man deserves quality craftsmanship, simple design, and modern convenience, and a great shave. Harry's is a personal care brand that is reinventing the way you shave. Harry's manufactures its own razor blades in a factory in Germany. It's a world-class factory that's been making blades for 100 years. Refills are delivered straight to your door on your schedule, so no more waiting in lines at the drugstore. They support great causes too. They give 1% of their sales to organizations that help promote better mental health care. It's an insanely good value with refills starting at only $2. Harry sent me their starter set, which includes a weighted handle with textured rubber grip, 5-blade razor cartridge, foam shaving gel, and a travel cover to protect your blades when you're on the move. You'll be getting everything you need for a close, comfortable shave, and you'll be supporting my channel by signing up. Redeem your trial set for just $3 when you go to harrys.com/MrBuildIt. Again, guys, make sure you go to harrys.com/MrBuildIt to redeem your offer and join the 10 million who've tried Harry's. It's a new day, it's a new project. We are getting started on the built-ins for the nursery. The idea is organization, drawers. We don't know if we're having a boy or girl, but I kind of want to sway towards making a little princess, little dress-up thing with a mirror. Anywho, ideally, material-wise, I usually build stuff, cabinetry stuff, out of plywood, maple ply. I've said this stuff before. Since the closet already is MDF's built in, I might as well, you know, kind of go with that theme. It's strong enough. The drawers will be a 1/2-inch maple ply, probably birch. I've always used maple. I don't know, we'll see what we do. So I'm gonna pick up my MDF, 1/2-inch maple ply for the drawers, some drawer slides, and then I think for the most part I have everything else. So let's get to work. So it's a little bit sunny and it's a lot of clouds. It's supposed to rain all day, just up for a brief moment. Nothing scarier than trying to bring wood home and not having a cover in the back of the truck. So we'll see if this stuff gets, we can do a little gambling. Let's see if it gets wet. We're already off to a really good start. No rain, wood is dry. Let's get building. All right, I seriously got lucky. It just started raining, so I got everything inside. Look, you can still see a little raindrops from on the MDF. So we're gonna rip this down into 17 inches, nice long strips. I'm gonna focus on making a cabinet down the middle. It's gonna have drawers and dressers and all that stuff. So I'm gonna start, that's the most important part, to keep actually square. That's why I'm doing it that way. I'm gonna start ripping it up, and then we're gonna put in some pocket holes. That way we can assemble everything with wood glue, pocket holes, maybe face frames, we'll see. Let's just see what happens. Let's get started. Okay, so now that we got the long stuff cut, they are 17 inches wide and 79¼ inches tall. That's not important because your closet is going to be different, but here's what is important. I need to make a couple of these shelves right here. They're going to be 17 inches, again, deep, and then 18 inches wide. Let's make a couple of shelves. Let's make a couple of shelves. Let's do that. All these boards, 17 by 18, are done. I'm gonna use pocket holes to attach this to the sides. So I'm gonna use this, use my Craig Jig Foreman here. If you don't have a Foreman, which not a lot of people do, they're kind of pricey. You can use a mini Craig Jig like this. It's 20 bucks. It gets the job done. Just takes a little bit of time. So let's start throwing this thing on there and get some holes in there. All right, just like any project, let's do some demo work. When I get excited about demo work, the reason I get excited is because it's your first opportunity to create like a blank canvas. When you have a blank canvas, you can usually get your imagination to start working. All right, so we're gonna start first with taking a utility knife and cutting all the caulk around all the shells and make it a lot easier to take them off. They're really usually held by caulk, 2-inch, I think, brad nails, and sometimes wood glue, but very rare do they do that. So we're gonna use this. Also, if you guys need help setting up your kind of home demo bag or home improvement kind of bag, I have all the tools with affiliate links down in the description below every video so you guys can take a look at what I have and any of my recommendations. That's the I work too much. Let's get to work.
You build me a nursery closet and I'll get you coffee.
There you go. What are you thinking over here?
I'm thinking like shelves in the middle, and then cabinets, and on the sides rods for hangers, and then something kind of cool for the hamper. What do you think?
Hamper, huh?
Yeah. Just, you know, a little something can just be small and quick.
You're gonna need more of these. As you can see, I'm using a large carpentry square here. Main reason why is it might look square here, and you know, you might set it here and be like, oh, that's 90 degrees. But you also need to check the X and the Y axis. And that way you know your shelf is not all cattywampus. So made a lot of mistakes before I learned that trick. 41, checking it for square. Oop, a little bit off. 40 and a half. 40 and a half, okay. That's a beast. I am going to attach this scrap piece on the inside here to attach it to the studs of the wall and to keep it from wobbling, obviously. After you got everything lined up, mine's like 18 5/8 on each side. Once you got it lined up, measure from the bottom because right now it's still kind of swaying a little bit. And at that point, find where the previous studs walls are and then start securing these brackets to it. We'll put the shelves and do the same thing there. So let's make the structure now. Okay, so here's the issue that I'm running into. In order to access the very top shelf here, this needs to be cut at an angle and then have the other shelf to be narrower. This one's about 12 inches. Second issue I have is, remember how in my previous videos I always say the walls are never really straight? Well, that goes even more so for the closets. In the back over here, it's 57 inches. In the front over here, it's 56. The only way that I figured out to actually make this work and get the shelves over there and make this cut is if I unsecure this entire unit, bring it back down, make the cut, bring the board up first, and then take the cabinet. It's a lot of work, but you know what? That's what we signed up for. Let's just fire up the tools. Let's go. Anytime you're pulling brad nails out of a stud around a drywall is you want to use some kind of putty knife and then your pliers to push away from it so the pressure goes on the putty knife, which distributes the pressure and doesn't put it on the drywall. There's going to be so much less stuff I need to repair afterwards. So hope you guys enjoy that. I'm out of wood and the missus said I need to get another shelf. I got yelled at basically. No, I didn't get yelled at. She was really nice about it. I thought we were gonna put like a mirror in here for, you know, if the kid grows up and it's a girl, well, fingers crossed, but you know, it's a boy, we love him too. But put a little mirror, be like a cute little dress up thing. But she said it's in the meantime while they're little, it's kind of an awkward space. So I think I'm gonna split the difference, put another shelf in there. This will be a little bit bigger. We can put little accessories, whatever. Only issue is I'm out of wood, so I need to go pick up like a smaller piece of MDF to finish this off. It's funny how like I tapped into my scrap pile and still not enough. I would say this project so far, get 2 sheets of MDF. I think you'll be fine with 2 sheets. And while I'm there, I need to pick up 1x2 pine. We've done this before. Remember on this, excuse the mess, on the built-ins right there? We're gonna do the same way. So we're gonna do 1x2 pine, and we're gonna brad nail it in and start patching things up and making it pretty. Let's go. I don't have any more MDF. Store was out at MDF too, and I'm not gonna jump to another store for MDF. I'm gonna use plywood. We're gonna conceal it with face frames anyway, so it'll be fine. It'll be fine.
Made it. And I'm sorry, but I.
All right, so everything's assembled and put together. Now, before we start building the actual drawers for this, we need to finish everything off. I'm gonna use this product from DAP. It's the plaster basically for the walls, kind of like a drywall, fix up all the stuff that was left from the previous shelf. Then I'm gonna use one of my favorite actual stains from Minwax. The reason I like this stuff is because when it dries, it's not as brittle as some of the other stuff. And lastly, when everything's finished and done, we put some paintable caulk all the way around. So when we paint it, it's gonna look like one built-in unit without any kind of imperfection. So let's get to putting this stuff on. All right, so everything's caulked and I'm getting ready to put the primer, then the paint. Now I want to share with you guys the primer that I always use. The one that I always use is Kilt. It's a water-based interior primer. Now, they're not sponsored of the project or anything like that. It's just really easy to work with. It's not too thick. The problem with some of the thicker ones, once you put it on, it kind of clumps up the rest of the paint. So that's the primer. I'm gonna roll it on, one coat. What it does is seals all the MDF. That way it doesn't absorb like a sponge, and it'll be ready. We'll have to use like a minimum amount of paint, and that's it. So once that dries, lightly sand with 220 just to cut all the raised fibers that kind of go to the top, get them nice and smooth. Then for paint, the product that I always go with is the Urethane Emerald Alkyd. I always gotta get it right. And the way I explain how that product works is latex paint is a water-based paint. It dilutes with plenty of washing with water. Anywho, you cut it or dilute it with water. The way I explain how this product works is it dilutes with water just like latex paint, but then through whatever the chemical black magic that goes through it, it hardens like an oil-based paint. So super tough, so when kids get their grease on and all that stuff, you can wash it off without having to compromise the paint that's below it. All right, so I just got finished drawing up all the schematics for the actual drawers. They're gonna be pretty deep. They're about 10¼ inch deep, just mostly because I wanna keep shirts and just good amount of clothing that can go in there. Now, I am gonna make my cuts. They're gonna be 16 inches deep, get everything ready. For the insert, for the bottom of the drawer, it's gonna be a 1/4 inch birch ply, maple ply, whatever you have, but 1/4 inch. And I've done this before in cabinet builds where we make a 1/4 inch slot and then slide it in. You can use your table saw blade, but I also have a dado stack. All this is a bunch of blades you can stack together, create the whatever thickness that you want. So, ladies and gentlemen, I'm gonna fire up my table saw and start mass producing these drawers. So I'm gonna get some pocket holes on the outsides and the insides. That way they'll be occluded with like a face frame or the back of the drawer. And then I'll start putting everything together. And remember, when you put these together, make sure everything's square. Because if it's cattywampus a little bit, you're gonna have a hard time putting this drawer on. And don't get me started about the face frame. Do not get me started about the face frame. All right, folks, let's talk face frames. We're in the home stretch of this closet build. For face frames, we're gonna go with a harder wood. This is a poplar, very easy and decently priced, nothing too crazy. Now the drawers are gonna be roughly 11 inches, or the drawer faces are gonna be roughly around 11 inches tall, 18 inches wide. All we're gonna do, we're gonna keep them very simple. Usually we do something extravagant, patterns, designs. Here, pretty simple. I think we're just gonna round over the edges. We're going to give them a nice clean sand, and from that point on, just really install them. I'm not inspired right now for a design. If I come up with something last minute, maybe we'll throw something on there. But in the meantime, I feel like I'm just making a drawer right now. A drawer face frame, and that's it. So let me just do this, okay? All right, so we're in the home stretch. All I got left is to hang the drawer pulls. These are nice little simple black ones. The way I usually do it is I take some kind of straight edge and I'll mark the center by taking corner to corner, and it'll intersect right there in the middle. Make sure you have a washer, that way you don't split your plywood on the other side. So easy peasy. Hey, that is it for me this week. Thank you so much for sticking around watching this video. If you like projects like this or any other kind of home improvement project, including the reading nook that we recently built, make sure you hit the subscribe button right there and tap the notification bell. That way you'll be alerted every time we put a video out. Remember, we're not trained professionals. We're not experts in the field. Nobody taught us this stuff. We're just a bunch of people who are not afraid to try and fail. Courage and sweat, that's what we stick to. We need the courage to try these projects and the sweat, the hard work to get through, ask questions, and get better. Make sure you check me out on my social medias down below. Check out the merch section, Courage and Sweat. That'll be reminded every single time you tackle on one of these projects. Remember guys, if I can do it, you can do it. Tune out this week. We'll see you guys on the next one. See ya. Bye.